seconds of movement and trying to pause from being overwhelmed and controlled by the energy outside, but just stop, like intentionally you stop and move and breathe. Yes. Then at least it kind of kind of reset. It is like a pressing reset button. So you could
Yes.
pause.
First step, being aware that it's happening. Like, oh, I am
Right.
comparing myself with everyone right now. Yeah. First step, awareness, and the stop. I love when you're like, stop,
Yes.
like
Yes.
awareness and
Stop.
stop. Like, okay, like this is happening. Like, okay, that's yes, yes. Welcome back.
Hello, Brady.
Hi, Michelle. So I want to welcome all of our listeners back to the Heal Yourself podcast with Michelle Moon and myself, DJ Sylo. And this is episode 2. Uh,
Yay.
so congratulations,
Exciting.
Michelle. My friend was telling me, or maybe I heard somewhere that 90% or over 90% of podcasts only have one episode. And then they decide, I don't know if I'm going to keep doing this. So making it to episode 2 feels like a victory.
Yep. Yes, for sure. I feel so much hope and gratitude about our podcast.
Oh, awesome. And how are you feeling today?
Yeah, I feel really grateful. Um, Last weekend I had some time in the nature. One of my
Mhm.
favorite thing to do during weekend is like morning hike with fresh air and mild sun. And
Mhm.
then of course the weather is much cooler in the morning. And then being around the trees and the forest. And then when there's some like gentle breeze, that's when you feel like so good. So
That sounds nice just imagining that right now. Um, yeah, I think there's sometimes, especially when I go deep into or just into any like real body of forest, that like as soon as I enter in and I'm surrounded by trees, I just feel
yeah,
held. And it's like,
yeah,
and I can feel a little bit of relaxation. So that's
yeah,
good that you
yeah,
had some of that.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Cool. So I wanted to actually like um, share really quickly, if it's okay, like a little bit of my experience over the past few days. I think that that could
Yeah,
be helpful
yeah,
for some people out there.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so this past Thursday was my birthday,
Oh, happy
happy
birthday.
birthday. And leading up to my birthday, I had a few experiences, healing experiences, um, experiences of depth, and really like opportunities where old stuck emotions were able to like come up,
Mm,
and I was able to
yeah.
feel some of them. And I'm really in this phase of my healing journey where that seems to be like at the center of it, is being in
Mm,
touch with some emotions that I've like
mm,
sort of put in an area and clamped down on. Um,
mm,
and I feel a little, well, I feel some shame in saying this, but after all this emotion coming up, I wasn't
mm,
able to like sit with it like cleanly that in the following days after my birthday. I went into an old pattern of isolation, a combination of isolation and numbing out. So I was just like in bed, not answering people, uh, and just watching movies and sort of just distracting myself. But
mm,
I'm so grateful that with your support and guidance and like some energy from myself,
mm,
after some time doing that, I was able to return to my mat and get back into some
mm,
practices, tapping practice,
mm.
and it felt new, and I feel sort of like new and rebirthed right now. My
Wow.
my partner saw me earlier today. She's like, "You look different." Um, and I'm like, "Whoa, okay." But what felt new is when I am in practice and I'm going internal and I'm connecting
Mm,
with parts of myself, parts of my true self, parts of my younger self. Um,
mm,
in the past, I would connect with that part and then spend most of my time being like, hey, I see you. And I'm here now. And look at me now, and look at this master self that's coming in. And hey, look, we're safe now. This time felt different because with your guidance, I focused mostly on saying, I'm sorry and please forgive me. And rather than, this master self being with this sort of like baby self, and saying like, hey, like, look, I'm here. It was like bowing to this baby and being like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that I haven't been around. I'm so sorry that for all the pain that caused, and really like bowing in reverence. And, after a time of, I'm sorry, please forgive me, there's also thank you, I love you. But this just felt like a new perspective that was like much more compassionate than like, hey, I'm here. Like, I didn't even realize that was part of it before, but it was like, yeah, look, see, we're good. Like that, like a little bit of that in it, I think had blocked some of, what I think I'm doing now is in my healing is building trust between these parts of myself. And it's a process, and it's an ongoing relationship. So I just wanted to like share that experience with you and with everyone, because it's like fresh on me. And yeah.
Right. Wow. I was, we had a conversation weekends and check in with you. I kind of felt you, and I was kind of wondering like what you're doing on your birthday. For me, every birthday, like there's some excitement, but also some emotional like feelings about like, oh, what I've been achieved, what I've, how I've been changed, and what kind of life I want to pursue. So I just checked in with you, and you shared with me how there's struggling and some like emotional, challenges, and then I kind of guided you, but I wasn't sure if you wanted to share. So I'm so proud of you, and I'm so uh, grateful and thankful that you can go through that phase of energy and create a rebirth, and then feel much brighter and lighter, and it really touched me when I see your smile. So
Oh,
thank you so much for sharing.
thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. And yeah, it's great to see you again. So
Yeah.
and yeah, just like ending with like remembering that this process is like rather than like a finish line, it feels more
Mm-hmm.
like building and strengthening and widening a
Mm-hmm.
relationship, and like a
Mm-hmm.
consistency there. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
do you think that we could start with a short practice?
Yes, for sure. Let's do some meditation.
Okay, great. Let me hook up this music.
So with our DJ Sylo. Wow, beautiful music. So now let's create a space for ourselves to connect with our pure essence that exists inside of us. So whether sitting posture or lying posture, or if you're walking on the street, you can just pause and open your heart, open up your mind to connect with the essence of who you really are, the one that never changed, the one have never damaged or never hurt. Keep opening up your heart and your mind and connect with the essence of your life and your breath. You can start with breathing in from your chest, and as you breathe out, empty your mind Empty all the uncomfortable feelings or any worries, any concerns, all the way down to your abdomen, your body center. And instead of being rigid and be still, you can gently shake your spine side to side and create some rhythm and movement that you can feel the existence of yourself. Gentle movement of your neck and your head while you're breathing in and out deeply. And feel your shoulders and your chest. And recognize the new life energy coming in through your lungs, through your inhalation. And as you finish your inhalation, automatically new life energy coming in through your lungs again. So focus on your breath and feel the life energy comes and goes. And as you recognize those life energy coming in and out, relax your shoulders and chest. And down to your lower back, your kidneys. Exhale out and down to your abdomen. Very good. And I want you to start rotating your wrist outward. There are a lot of energy channels through your arms. So you can rotate your wrist and your elbows and your shoulders, those three joints. And then at the same time, open your chest, inhalation. And as you exhale, imagine you let energy flow down to your arms and your fingertips. And then as you rotate your three joints, shoulders, elbows, and your wrist, also make a big circle with your shoulders outward. So you're opening up your joint system and your muscular system and loosen up the tension from your nervous system. Ooh. And as you unlock the tension from your muscular system, your body system, your breathing shift from shallow breath to deep breath. Ooh. Ooh. And as you're aware of your breathing and your body, you can slowly feel more connected. Ooh, connected with yourself. Ooh, and gently shake your spine side to side, especially your lower back. Lower back. Ooh, lower back. Gentle vibration of your lower back. Ooh. So human body, we have 7 energy centers, and especially our lower back, easily influenced by our fearful energy, the scarcity and stress. So gentle vibration, your lower back. And then not only feeling your lower back, your physical body, I want you to aware of your emotional feelings, any fear or anxiety, any stress, any concern that you're holding on your lower back that has a lot of nervous system. And as you shake your lower back, breathe all the way down and down and down to your lower abdomen and lower back. And as you focus on your lower back and your abdomen, you can feel some warm energy and warm blood flow down to your abdomen and your lower parts of your body. Let me count 10. 1, keep shaking. Generate life energy from your lower back and your lower abdomen. 2, 3, 4, 5. Activate life energy. 5, 6, 7, 8. And as I count 10, you will slowly stop. 9 and 10. Slowly stop. Hands on your knees and focus on your breath. Inhale and exhale. Down and down, down to your abdomen. Once again, deep breath in and breathe out. Down, down, down to your abdomen. And as you breathe from your lower abdomen, your body center, and as you bring your awareness down to your lower abdomen, your brainwave shift from uneasy, busy mind to relaxed, peaceful mind. And as your brainwave shift, as your mind shift, your entire body system, your life energy shift. So fully stay in your tangent, your lower abdomen, your body center. And pay attention to your breath a few times. And express your gratitude, saying thank you, thank you, thank to my body, thank to my heart, thank to my kidneys, lower back, thank to my stomach, thank to my heart, thank to my existence. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your existence, for your life, for your love, for your generosity, your warmth, humanity, kindness, and gentle smile on your face. Deep breath in and out. Once again, deep breath in and out, slowly coming out from your inner consciousness to outer consciousness, and sweep down your energy 3 times. Ooh. Feels so good. Thank you.
Well, I think we can end the
Feels so good.
podcast there. That was so
Feels so
awesome.
good, right? Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Michelle.
Welcome.
Oh, wow. I feel excited to record some of that with you so we can put it out on
Oh,
YouTube or Spotify or something, but just
that'll be
relaxing in there.
wonderful. Yes, yes. Yeah, I feel like since we started this healing podcast, I'm not really like very active, outgoing kind of person. I born very shy, introverted, and very quiet. That's my personality and character. But after I started this healing podcast, I just feel so much gratitude and feeling excitement. I born with also very weak heart, so feeling excited is not my normal state, but it really
Mhm.
excites me because we created the space and a channel to interact with people who are out there. We are not necessarily like meeting them in person, but somewhere out there, and that has been my passion and my mission and purpose to deliver a message that we can heal our energy, we can heal our life, we can heal ourselves and like create the best life for ourselves and share happiness, share joy, share greatness as a human, because that really differentiate with the differentiate with animals and something else. um, so the power and the beauty of being a human. So I'm very, very grateful.
Wow, yes, and that's so awesome to hear that this podcast has been yet another experience after so many years of like, growing,
Yeah,
expanding from the core, from the outer layers. Like there's just like
right.
more expansion now
Yeah,
with these
right.
conversations.
Yeah.
And I really like how you sort of mentioned there, like some sort of like, well, there's a lot of talk about healing in certain circles
Mm,
nowadays, and you
mm,
sort of touched on some of like I don't know if purpose is too strong a word, but like sort of like the
mm,
driving force behind why we spend time
mm,
going deep and doing things that are uncomfortable to
mm,
then be able to express the beauty of being human. And I don't know, is there anything else that you think is there sort of like what is the purpose of healing work?
mm-hmm. Yeah. So as I doing my own healing work and also helping others to heal themselves, some point I had awakening that um, the healing happens as we connect with our true essence, our true self, uncovered and unconditioned. It's just pure essence of life that has humanity and love and compassion, kindness. That's who we are deep down. Whether we, traumatize ourselves with like some pain that we can't trust, ourselves or others, but deep down, that's who we really are. So as we remembering our true essence, true nature, and true self, the natural healing just the healing happens very naturally. And then I feel and I see and I witness so many times that people who was going through cancer, tumor, or like like pretty serious illness that the Western medicine can heal, but for those who connect with their true nature and true essence, I see them making a miracle, starting with their inside, their inner self, and then slowly their body shift and heal their diseases and illness and pain, all levels, like physical, mental, like all levels. So I see that like human truly has amazing power, actually on both direction, like killing power, destructive power, like killing our
Mm.
body cells, where we literally uh, develop a cancer cell that can like destroy our life energy. But the other hand, we also have an amazing ability to heal and recover, and not only recover our own self, but like share with others. Like my being, my existence as a healing and loving and being kind, that can also help others around us. So we have a choice whether we want to destroy or like heal and share. And I
Yes,
see that like, wow, human is absolutely powerful.
definitely. And yeah, I saw one of my friends, she shared something today on Instagram, and she's a healer of sorts. And she shared a post that was about like, if you're a practitioner or a healer, often while, I might have a client and I'm like, the idea is we're going to do a healing session for this client, that experience can also be like healing on in both directions.
Mm-hmm,
So like,
mm-hmm,
and I think that's like,
mm-hmm,
even once like we've tapped in with our true self, or even like in,
mm-hmm,
along that journey, and now the cup's
mm-hmm,
overflowing and we're sharing that energy with
mm-hmm,
people,
mm-hmm,
that even then, as we're
mm-hmm.
sharing, that's like another layer of
Yep,
like healing. and
right.
and uh yeah, I just find it like, I could, it's just a beautiful experience. um
Yep.
so this is exciting on this podcast because we have some questions, some stuff that
Right.
we asked in the energy healing basics
Mm-hmm,
class, and you
mm-hmm,
asked on your Instagram as well, what topics sort of people would be interested in hearing us explore on the podcast. So
mm-hmm.
if you're down, can we bring some of these up and see how many we can get to in this hour?
Yeah, I'm
All right,
excited.
awesome. Yeah, great. So this first question is about breathing and vibration, and
Mm-hmm,
asking if those are, just to explain and explore the importance of those in getting the healing energy. So I did want
mm-hmm,
to actually start at the end here. Is
mm-hmm.
would you describe healing energy as something that we get from somewhere, or is there another way, like perspective, to look at healing energy that might be helpful?
Um, we can get healing energy from outside for sure, even though we have our own healing ability and energy inside, because it'll be great to have a parent who taught us how to heal ourselves. A
Yeah.
lot of times, that's not the case. So we don't know, we don't have that awareness and awakening that we have the healing ability and healing power inside of us. So it is helpful to get help from somebody who practice healing, and then who has abundant energy who like to share. Then it is good to get help to receive healing energy. But not only even the people who does like energy practice, people who have like bright consciousness, like optimism, like positivity, um, the people who believe they are loved, they are kind, they are just by being surrounded by those people who are positive and bright and being open, you can also experience you know like healing, being
Mhm.
loved and being treated kindly. That's also can be considered as healing. I will say, like a lot of people, I think there's some misconceptions about like what healing is. The way how I interpret it is, healing is basically love.
Hmm.
So as you express love to yourself, and as you're
Mhm.
being loved and being cared, that loving energy has the healing ability and healing power. The more you receive love, the more you share love, you experience healing naturally.
Good, good, good. And so then, for to experience that love and healing energy, um, let's talk about breathing. And yeah, I think breathing first and then vibration. You know, take this any direction that you want. But one thing I've noticed is that in a lot of our practices together, it's in through the nose and out through the mouth for breathing,
Yeah.
which is a little different than say in a yoga class or you know exercise. People they say to just breathe through the nose. So I'm really interested about the purpose of that like breathing
Yeah.
technique.
Yeah. That's a really good question. So we wish to breathe from our nose when we do yoga and meditation. But a lot of time we are holding a lot of stress, anxiety, and some level of tension in our body, especially our shoulders and neck, and also like our heart and lungs, our heart center. So the intention of breathing through our nose and breathing out through our mouth is to learn how to turn off the tension mode from our parasympathetic nervous system, and then intentionally letting those uncomfortable energy out. Just like when you want to talk something, when you are not able to talk, it's just like. But when you find a friend who you can trust, and then you start talking about it, you feel like, oh, you feel just relief, just like that. As you practice intentionally breathing through nose and exhale out through your mouth, there's just natural healing as you exhale out through your mouth. So it's like when you clean up your room with the window closed, then dust probably like stay in the room. But when you
Mm.
when I have a big cleaning, you probably want to open the door and even both sides where the air comes in and out, where you can really purify. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yes. And and also like, yeah, put a fan in there, give it some gust so it can like
Yes, yes. Let out.
Yeah,
Yeah, let out.
great.
Yeah. So there's definitely a power on exhalation through mouth. But after you kind of letting go of that tension, and then you can feel that your diaphragm open and feel more comfortable instead of holding a lot of tension on your chest. And then when you start noticing your breathing goes down, then that's when you do the abdominal breathing and then nose breathing, and then like really focus on gathering your awareness and energy inside and stay inside of your body.
I
So it's not
see. I
easy
see.
to just like going in right away.
I
Yes.
see. I see. So the the in through the nose, out through the mouth to release and also
Ah.
to activate the parasympathetic. And then once
Mm-hmm.
our body chemistry and our nervous system has
Mm-hmm.
changed,
Sure.
then we
Mm-hmm.
can and feeling that abdominal breath, then we
Yeah.
can
Right.
do nose breathing.
Right. Exactly. So if you see
Cool.
a baby sleeping, and then when you experience like hunger or when they're annoyed or something, they probably had a really sound sleep, like nose breathing, abdominal breathing very peacefully. And then suddenly when they're annoyed, like
Yeah, yeah. They'll let you
they
know.
cry. Yes. And then like loud, loud
Mhm.
voice. They really express their feeling until
Yeah.
they feel
Mhm.
ease.
Yeah, you know, and in some like workshops and in the workshops that we've been in together, done together, there's a lot of letting it out like all the way. It's like a safe space to really be loud and let it
Yes.
all out.
Right.
And, you know,
Right.
this comes up a lot in conversation with people. Like
Mm.
people are like, I don't even know when's the last time I just yelled as loud as I could, or like I don't know where I could do that, especially living in the city or even with like neighbors in the
Right.
suburbs. It's kind of like self-conscious. You don't want to like cause a
Right.
stir or make people
Right.
think something's happening. So I usually
Uh-huh.
recommend people to
Mm-hmm.
try it out in the car because the car is like
Yeah.
a little
Right.
dome, roll up the windows. Ah!
Exactly.
Um,
Right.
so that's a good one. But and then I also joke with people because you know I'll be at the coffee shop and this like two-year old will come in just blah blah like and everyone's like okay cool like no one everyone knows it's a kid they're just yelling but we take that away from like societally we've kind of just taken that
Right.
away where it's
We're
like now
very
just like
conditioned.
yeah be
Yeah.
polite like don't stay use your you know
Mhm.
the inside voice and it's just you
Mhm.
know uh,
Yeah.
and I think that's interesting. So,
Yeah.
so with vibration, I love that this person
Mm,
asked about vibration because I love
mm,
sound. Sound is all
yes.
vibration of air particles.
Right. Right.
And,
Right.
you know, something I've noticed in your videos and in our practices together,
Mm,
there's like
mm,
different sort of sounds that you make.
mm.
Sometimes there's the ah, sometimes there's the ooh, and sometimes like oh. It's like these different sort of, and I can feel it vibrate different parts of my body. Um,
Oh,
so I think, yeah, I'm interested. What's your take on the importance of vibration for like building this healing energy, accessing it?
you're very, very funny that you said that. I forget you're sensitive. So I didn't know that you have that recognizing that, different frequencies as I make sound. Yes. So, human body have 7 energy centers. So like spiritual center, mental center, throat, where we, express our voice, and heart center, solar plexus, third chakra, abdomen, danjon center, second chakra, and our root chakra. So 7 chakras. And then I think the people who play saxophone or flute or trumpet, they understand where you put your intention, you can change the energy. So if
Mhm.
you put your intention to your abdomen and then trying to make sound from your abdomen,
Mm,
yes. So even though you make sound from your vocal, as you put your intention, you can create the vibration from your lower abdomen. And then this time, let's practice chest, heart center. Yes, you feel the vibration on your chest, right?
yeah, yeah.
And then this time,
Uh,
your forehead. Ah, ah. Yes. So you just
mhm.
generated the frequency on your forehead, right? And
Yeah,
then,
a buzz.
so yes, intentionally we create a frequency, the vibration with our voice. It was
Mhm.
intentional. What about when you are uncontrolled with emotional feelings, when you're angry and like, like very intense and like very aggressive, frequencies. Very
Yeah,
intense, very strong, like And then when you're very calm and peaceful and feeling comfortable, and when you're grounded, then there's also different frequencies. So the
yes.
frequencies is energy, the waves, where there has a different, energy, where when you put your intention and connection with your heart center and feeling connected, then your frequency may shift more harmonious and balanced. And when you are disconnected and lose your balance and harmony, then like the energy frequency may like not really healing but destructive. So vibration and healing, yes, it's connected. So we practice some tapping, generate some, vibration. And then we did guided
Mm.
meditation with moving. That is also
Mhm.
vibration. Sound, that's also vibration. So we can create those vibration, activate those 7 energy centers to shift our energy and experience healing. So I would say
Mhm.
those are connected.
Yeah, and I love when you use the word like harmonize because it's
Yeah,
like
harmonize.
just, you know, there there's like maybe activity already, but it's like tuning it and humming into it, tapping it,
Mm,
just to sort of like like just like shift it a bit, have
mm,
more energy towards it, but like shift it so it can even like
mm, mm,
allow that flow of energy
mm,
through. Uh, and I love how you brought tapping into the vibration because that I wasn't my head
mm.
was like all the way in like sound, but of course tapping and you know Michelle, since I met you, I've done a lot of tapping. seems to be like one of your favorite like practices. Has that been the case for a long time, or is there something specifically like powerful about tapping in your experience? Or I'm just interested like why that might come up so much.
I think this is like very ancient, and we nowadays call it like differently. It's tapping, or some groups say EFT, and like
Mhm.
there's different versions how you call it, but like remember when the mother like trying to put the baby on sleep, what do they do?
Tap.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Pat.
pat their chest and their buttocks, and then also shake so that
Mhm.
they can feel
Mhm.
some kind of rhythm, right? So it was very connected to our life already. And then when you're excited, yes, you move, but also at the same time, you kind of tap your body. You've probably seen a video or like of African American. They do like very intense like body dance with their body movement and also tapping. And Korean Asian culture, when elderly people are tired, they ask their grandchildren to tap their back or tap their
Mhm.
legs. So the tapping is very uh, it was always in our life, even before we may like learn our language. It was very common sense and common culture how to express our love and how to receive love and how to support and express our gratitude to somebody. So it's very natural body language to express our self-love and also at the same time like expressing love to others.
Cool. Yeah, I'm thinking of like even like a gorilla like pounding on their chest or
Right.
something.
Yeah, even
Like,
animals, right?
yeah, yeah. Um, so but there's like, there's something with tapping a baby and you're sort of like kind of just tapping and it's sort of like hypnotizing the baby into sleep and comforting. And it is related, but when I'm tapping with you and pounding on my tangent and it's like I feel like I'm diving or like digging into myself, like I'm going like,
Mm,
and it's just like
mm.
making me so much more aware of this energy center, and then just continuing to tap like consistently with strength. And so I'm like going in farther in, and it's like
Mm.
um it's something that I like crave now sometimes, where I'll find myself just doing it like
Oh,
while going
that's
up the
wonderful.
stairs or something, to be like, okay, right. And it's sort of like even just the tapping, and it's making me like aware of my body. Like I'm just like
Right.
being like, oh yes, I am
Mm.
this, like part of me is this body. Like um so yeah, I'm really grateful to have had that practice introduced by you. Um
That's wonderful.
all right, let's see. So this next question is about comparison. It says, I tend to compare myself with others and
Oh
feel
yeah.
bad and sad about myself. And they're
Mm.
asking how they can improve their self-esteem with energy healing practices. So I do like appreciate, and I think it's important, interesting how they are already aware that like comparison is a
Mm-hmm.
big
Mm-hmm.
part of like this situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, so I will say the first step how you want to recognize those comparing mind is not from feeling bad, but feeling compassionate about the one who kind of criticize our own self, instead of uh,
Mhm,
hourly
mhm,
driven mind about how I feel. You shift to inward driven mind to understand and feel ourselves with more compassion and empathy. And that's the place where we begin to recognize ourselves, in order to build our self value and feeling our absolute value and identity. And then as we connect with our true self and true essence with inward driven mindset instead of like worrying about others outward driven, then as we keep bringing our awareness inward and then being able to connect with our essence, then some point we just feel the pure breath and life energy and existence and being. And just like how we practice, our life energy comes and goes, whether we want it or not, whether we hate to do it or not, whether we are, like regardless of our choice and action, the breath, life energy comes and goes very, naturally and automatically. So as you are able to being in that state and connection with our life energy, you start feeling gratitude of being and having that existence, that you are alive. And as you feel that being alive and being free, because as you keep bringing your awareness, you just feeling free and connected and so sacred place that everything is just perfect being there, then you feel grateful and you feel so happy. It's hard to say like happy. You feel peaceful and you feel connected, and then you feel so good to be there. Then as you keep growing that feeling, then some point you feel your value, not from outside, but from your inside. And then you feel more like, oh, this is myself, my value, and this is my identity, the feeling of my life, energy. Then you can grow them as self-esteem, self-confidence. It's not conditional, whether you're capable or not capable, whether you have something or not. That self-esteem and self-confidence is not coming from outside, but we're talking about self-esteem and self-confidence from being inside. So as you develop that sense, you can definitely grow your self-esteem and self-confidence, and it's unconditional. You just feel that anytime in any situation, even in the middle of chaotic situation that you have zero solution, but you have power and you have ability with self-trust and self-love that you will come up with some kind of solution.
I see. So what I gather from that is like I have a question too, but so that just remembering that the outside, if the outside is occurring to me as like making me feel bad or sad, then turning inwards to be curious and explore like how that is, what's the dynamic there? Because at least in my experience, if someone shining in some sort of way that I perceive as shining is making me feel bad, then there's actually some sort of like inner critic. There's some like, because no one told me that. I'm telling myself that, maybe subconsciously, that, and 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 then sort of harmonizing over time with different practices of energy healing, that voice from being a critic and like pushing down parts of my true self into instead being compassionate and then cultivating that love that we talked about. But I'm interested, like, so say like I'm just in my day to day, and all of a sudden I notice that I'm comparing myself with someone, and it's making me feel bad and sad. Like in that moment where I'm not like on my mat doing tapping, but in that moment, what do you have any advice for someone that is just like gets a hit of that at a moment, like what they could maybe do, like to sort of like recenter?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we are continuously surrounded by those comparison, evaluation, constant judgments and criticism, just by the look outside. like constant judgments from outside. And when you're too sensitive about those like judgmental energy, sometimes those like vibration of judgment can really dominate you and control you, where your head stops working. And some people who are really afraid of those judgments, they literally have like anxiety attack, panic attack,
Yeah.
especially if you have to present to somebody in a really important like meeting. And when you start having like really like strong intense judgments, you may like have some, you know, experience of panic attack and anxiety attack. So it takes practice, because I know people who experience like very severe level of anxiety with those like judgments from outside. It really like stir up their heart rhythm and their whole nerve system, that they start sweating and they can't think, and they probably feel like they're gonna get fainted. So it is important to practice uh, how to stop that energy. So even though, so it's like this: when you are in the middle of tornado, so when there's a like tornado, like storms and wind and pouring
Yeah,
rain,
stormy.
when you are out there, then like you are getting soaked and you feel the wind and the intensity of the energy and the weather. But if you imagine when you're in the building with the window closed, then obviously you're aware of those intense like weather, but you just observe it as like viewer, instead of be the victim of like all the pouring rain and storm and tornado. You're not being like pulled away everywhere. There is intensity, but you can aware of it and you observe it and you watch it instead of be it. So even even though the energy can be intense outside, we have ability and power to stop and then connect with ourselves and then observe. Even though you're like literally going through some panic at that moment, like just aware, even your heart rate, like, oh, like intense panic, but just aware and pause. And then you can just try to loosen up, especially your spine. Because when you're overwhelmed, your spine like being like so rigid and so much tension. So just trying to loosen up your spine. And still, some of you, even if you're moving your spine, you may not able to breathe still, like you're holding your breath, moving your body. So start with moving your spine, loosen up your nerve system, and then trying to forcefully breathe, forcefully breathe, and then very uncomfortable breathing, but like at least you're breathing, so you're not gonna get faint if you at least like move and forcefully breathe, and then let the oxygen coming in to your lungs and your heart and your brain. And like at least, you know, that few seconds of movement and trying to pause from being overwhelmed and controlled by the energy outside, but just stop, like intentionally you stop and move and breathe. Yes. Then at least it kind of, kind of reset. It is like a pressing reset button. So you can
Yes.
pause.
Good. And it's good
Yeah.
practice. But like first step, being aware that it's happening. Like, oh, I am
Right.
comparing myself with everyone right now. And just to
Right.
mention, like, there's a whole industry, like, all of capitalism almost is built around
Mm,
us, like comparing and feeling less than. And if I get this new thing, I'll feel
right.
this. So just being
Mm,
aware of the societal side of it too. And
mm,
it's not just something
mm.
that like we created. But yeah, first step,
Mm.
awareness and the stop. I love when you're like, stop,
Yes.
like
Yes.
awareness and
Stop.
stop, like, okay, like this is happening. Like, okay. And then I also love the imagery, because I like to use my imagination with the imagery. So instead of me being like in this thing, I'm actually in
Mm.
this safe, luxurious, or whatever, this safe place,
Oh,
this house
yes.
with a window.
Yes.
And on the window, on the
Yes.
screen, I can see everything that's
Yes.
going on. But my true
Yes.
essence is safe. It is safe.
Right.
Um, And then I love, just the simple spine shaking to become aware and
Oh,
breathing. Yeah. And and then just keep rowing the boat.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
For those
Yeah.
people who have anxiety attack and panic attack, I know nowadays, there's so much like criticism, and then like people can go through that. Then you can do that at that time. And end of the day, definitely what you can do is, do some hot bath
Hot
and do some
bath.
hot tea. Yeah, to kind of like ease your nervous system.
Oh,
Um, and like instead of like rough food, like some comfortable like soup or something that you can easily digest instead of like coke and like heavy like greasy food, something easy to digest and then kind of calm your body system. uh and then gentle yoga meditation definitely helps.
awesome. So made me hungry too. I'll have a sip tonight. Um, so I think we have maybe time for one more question here.
Okay.
And this one came in just recently. Uh, and I'm really interested what you might like, what direction you would take this. Someone from the Energy Healing Basics class asked, how are these techniques more effective, or how do they differ from
Mm.
regular talking therapy? Um, yeah, I've had good experience in talk therapy before, and I know a lot of people have, but I'm interested, like, yeah, what's your perspective is with energy healing and talk therapy and how they're similar and different?
I will say there is a benefit for both. uh, that's how human is designed, uh, to have self-talk, but also talk with somebody and expression, especially with somebody who you can trust. There's a healing as you are able to express and talk. But I will also say there can be some limitation if you depend on just talk therapy to heal, especially deeply wounded old pain that actually creates some anxiety, depression, or like suicidal thought, or addiction, or like any level of like symptoms, physical, emotional, mental symptoms, then sometimes talk therapy may not be enough. So like physical movement,
Mhm.
activities, and like actually changing your body energy, your system can eventually change the foundational problem, and then you can build new thought, new thinking, new consciousness, new awareness, new perception, new mindset. That's how you can like really shift instead of being in the same place, same level, and then just talk. That
Good,
doesn't make
good.
sense. Yes.
That definitely makes sense. And I just get excited because there are so many tools, so many practices, so many somatic practices um,
Mm,
that are the information's being shared a lot. So talk
mm,
therapy, you're right, can be like helpful. But part of me is like, why
mm,
not try all these other things that could be sort of a
yeah.
full system? But at the
Mm,
same time, not everyone is the same. Some people out there at the point that
mm,
they are in their life might just be very like attracted to talk
mm,
therapy, and so it's good that that's like an option that still is around,
yeah.
and it's more accessible than ever, I would say,
Mm,
with the
mm,
different like apps and everything.
yeah.
um cool, cool.
So I think we cover most of our questions.
We covered, we still have a lot more, honestly.
Oh,
um
okay.
so I would say like we have plenty for the next podcast. We might have to like
Exciting.
we might have to interject one that like before the one next one that's scheduled so we can get to more of these questions, or maybe we can bring them up with our next podcast where we will actually have a guest.
Yes.
So we could talk about that. But
Okay.
Michelle,
Sounds good.
once again, it's been so great getting to talk with you and explore healing. This is the Heal Yourself podcast with Michelle Moon and myself, DJ
Thank
Sylo.
you.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Freddie. Thank you, everyone.
See you guys next time.